KISW.
Steve, are you ready, brother?
Very excited, BJ. Our next guest, we love what he brings to all the roles that he's in.
How about a nickel bag, man?
Oh, $15, little man. Put that in my hand. Nong, 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 nong.
Please welcome to the show, Jason Mewes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
I like beep. No.
Yeah. Put that bleep in my hand.
Oh, man. Jay, we've talked to you before. We've had a lot of fun. It's really great to finally meet you, have you in studio.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, man, I'll tell you what. You and Kevin, man, you guys have such a great gig because you just get to do what you want and talk about the lives and the fun and everything. And now you got a cartoon, which is your baby.
Yeah. It's. It's been awesome. It's pretty crazy every time, I think, especially now again, us gearing up and we've been touring with the cartoons, Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy cartoon movie. Kevin gave me the script. I told him I wanted to start producing and doing different things. And he was like, here's the script, see what we can do with it. Me and my wife started putting it together and then we showed him first 4 or 5 minutes and he was laughing. He's like, oh, we got to finish this movie and then we'll take it on tour and stuff. So it's been awesome. And, we had the podcast and now we have the cartoon and then we're like, why don't we combine the two? So now we show the movie. The movie's about an hour and 15 minutes. And then there's a little 5-minute intermission. Then people come back after they go to the bathroom and stuff. And we do a Q&A/podcast. So it's cool. It's like a 2.5 hour show. And that's how I like it. It's like we get to sit with our audience, watch the movie, see if they dig it. And then they can ask us questions and we get to hang out and say what's up, take pictures and all that fun stuff. So.
And of course, the podcasts are fantastic that you and Kevin do together. We got Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, which is I've always loved those shows. The thing, and every time we talk to Kevin, Jay, is that, he's got a story to tell about everybody in his life. Sometimes it's an embarrassing story. And I'm wondering, man, at least during like the press junkets or interviews, do you ever turn the tables on him and go, let me tell a story that he's not happy about?
Yeah, and you know what? I don't. A few times I've tried that. I don't really know. I feel like he has either the stories he tells himself and the ones that he might not tell, I feel like he doesn't tell me either. And even if I do know them, then I almost feel like they're too... they would be something that I wouldn't even want to test the waters with. I've never really said anything that's upset him, which is interesting now that I think about what we're talking about. I've never thought of this, but
that's very surprising for you, isn't it? Because it just, he always talks about what a loose cannon you were back in the day, and you never have really done that. Yeah,
we have a weird relationship where I feel like, for years it was sort of the older brother thing, and I feel like and I think that's why we've never, besides when he's been really disappointed and upset, and even then it wasn't like, hey, don't come around here because I hate you, when I was really messed up on the junk. It was more like, hey man, it breaks my heart to see you're 150 pounds and I don't want my kid to see you, she's going to be upset and she's getting old. So I'm saying, but over the 25 years we've never really gotten to a tiff, and I think it's because, like, I don't know, I just feel like we know each other well enough. I've gotten upset with him a few times where he's said some private things, I feel, but nothing too bad. Like, there was I'll give you an example. There was for Christmas, the first Christmas I got sober again, I was like, look, I'm really sorry, and I didn't have any money and I didn't know what to get him, so I made a video for him saying like, hey man, I love you, you're like a brother, and sorry, and really, really sentimental, like really poured my heart out on this tape for him. And I said, and he wound up putting it out on like on the internet, which I'm like, dude, that was for you, it was private. And I didn't even mind so much that I'm like, people are going to see the sentimental part, but I'm like, I know people on the internet's going to take the parts where I start crying and they're going to like make like a
like a mashup, auto-tune it.
Exactly. And they did. One person did. So, but again, I wasn't like mad at him. I just was like, dude, but I'm just saying, my point is you know what, we know each other well and we get along, and I love him, and I mean, luckily we can, because we spend a lot of time together, and especially the last couple of years, it's crazy. We've known each other again 25 years, and and the last 2 years we've gotten to know each other better than over that whole course of knowing each other because of the podcast and us talking about everything out there and spending so much time together on the bus and flying together in the city, different cities. Anyway, so it's been great.
And what are you telling folks about the movie? Because of course you released the preview, and we saw the long tease, which we get to see a very Green Lantern-like situation, which I was so happy because we all hated that movie. So it was so great to have you guys put your take on that. What are you telling people about Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy cartoon movie?
It's Jay and Bob are sick of in their heads, they're sick of what's going on in their town, so they decide to become superheroes. Yeah,
okay.
So, which really isn't crime at that point, but and it's just a lot of fun. It's them becoming Bluntman and Chronic, and going out there, and their warped thing is
awesome.
Them stopping crime, but also they think it's of course the Chronic, which is the Jay character, thinks he's going to get women now because he's hanging out and in a costume and stuff, fun stuff. Yeah, so there's all goofiness, but there's all these sort of things to all the different comic book movies, and I feel like it's perfect timing because there's so many comic book movies now. Kevin wrote the script like 8-9 years ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I feel like it wound up being perfect timing because I feel like a lot of people then, it was a lot, if you knew comic books, you'd get the comic references throughout the movie, but only comic book people that were really into comic books. Now with all the movies and stuff, I feel like a lot of people get these little jokes, Jay, throughout.
That's a great point because there are two movies that I love that I think came out way too early, and that was The Specials and Mystery Men. And I think both those movies were good, but you're right, there weren't a lot of comic book movies, so parodies of comic book movies, people were like, well, whatever. But you're right, this is a good time because now there's a comic book movie, it seems like every month.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't got to see Iron Man 3 yet. I want to go out and see that soon. But
hey, don't let anybody tell you anything about the movie because I haven't been surprised by a movie in a long time. I mean, it's great, but then I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And that's the beauty of not doing spoilers, is that you get to actually go to a movie and be surprised by something.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about it because I've always liked, even the movies way back. I remember they came out with the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, and then there was like the Shield movie. I forget what it's called, but it was like Knight Rider. Michael.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
Yes,
sorry, David Hasselhoff
when he played Nick
Shield.
Fury. Yes.
Yeah, Nick Fury.
Yeah. You haven't seen that? Well, a lot of people haven't. But
And
I saw the Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one. Whoa.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then there was an old Fantastic Four movie where
the Roger Corman one.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, yes, I saw that.
For people that don't know, the ones we both know, Fantastic Four 1 and 2, we all saw it, but they did make another one and refused to release it. I could only see a real grainy, like a bad UHF version, and I couldn't even see anything. Did you actually see it clearly? It
wasn't super clear, but enough to see it. Yeah.
And what's your verdict on that?
The effects was amazing. Like when his arm stretched, you could tell it was just like this big, long arm that like someone was holding and stuff. The effects were really low budget, but again, back then when I got to see it, I was so excited because to me it was just a comic book. Seeing any comic book movies. Them putting it on the big screen was just awesome. And
The BJ Shea Morning Experience on 99.9 KISW.